So guys, just in case you were wondering, the left is still being the left. And while we have been rightfully distracted by things like war in Iran and problems in our own party, not to mention all the perverts in Congress that we have had to be talking about, the left has continued marching on, marching and singing, which will make sense to you in just a few minutes. And I think that it is about time that we catch up on our old friends. Because between members of Congress bullying coffee shops while wearing feather boas, celebrating getting multiple abortions, and lesbian assault, there is a lot going on. And that's not even counting them literally funding the neo-Nazis and the KKK. Now, before we dive into this, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and of course, if you want to stay up to date on every single thing we upload here on this channel, make sure to ring that notification bell. Alrighty guys, so I was inspired to do this episode after I saw this headline. So this is from the Salt Lake Tribune. 4 people accuse Eva Lopez Chavez, a Salt Lake City Council member, of unwanted sexual advances. Now, I'm sure you guys are thinking, Brent, what about this is interesting? All we've been talking about for weeks are people in government coming onto their staffers, harassing people, raping people. Like, this is not new at all. Okay, well, it gets better because number one, it's a lesbian. This is just crazy. But this woman simply cannot keep her hands to herself. This brings me straight back to high school. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I remember doing my single public school year because I was homeschooled, but I did 1 year of normal high school. And the behavior at that high school from the lesbian girls to the straight girls was downright insane. It was just absolutely unhinged. And because we were the same gender, it's like they thought that it was, totally appropriate to grab other girls' asses and feel them up and make sexual comments about their straight female friends. And it was always just brushed off as silly and goofy and totally fine because it was all girls, but it was weird. It was objectively weird. I remember my mom watching some of this stuff take place, me talking about it when I get home, and she was like, no, that's inappropriate. It doesn't matter if it's another woman. That's still harassment because it is sexual in nature. Because that kind of audacity is exactly what is fueling this city councilwoman. All right, so this woman, her name is, again, Eva Lopez Chavez. She's a city councilwoman in Salt Lake City. She is now running for Congress, and she has described herself as the Mexican lesbian shaping downtown Salt Lake City. I mean, yeah, she is certainly shaping it, all right? She's shaping it with unwanted sexual advances towards her fellow elected officials. Guys, people accusing her, they are not random hoodads popping up on the side of the road. They are her coworkers. Now, 3 of the accusers said that they told other people at the time of these, alleged harassments, which the Salt Lake Tribune did confirm with the other individual. And the reason why they're speaking up now, 4 years later, is because obviously another candidate for Congress in Utah running against Ava is embroiled in his own controversy with sexual harassment, and she went out and told him that he needed to drop out of the race because of his bad behavior, more specifically because he was being offensive to survivors like her, so he needed to drop out. Little did the public know she wasn't just an alleged survivor, but she was actually the perpetrator. So obviously the people that she had allegedly harassed in the past saw this as hypocritical. Now I, as you guys know, I just see this as normal at this point because apparently no one in American politics can keep their hands to themselves. In Eva Lopez Chavez's case, it seems like she can't keep her hands from grabbing and shoving other women. Just listen. In one case, another council member on city council said that Lopez Chavez grabbed her by the throat and pushed her back against a pillar so that my back was against the wall and told me the only reason I still F men is because a woman hasn't shown me what I really want. That's just insane. But that's not all. A state rep in Utah, again, another coworker of hers, this state rep said that Chavez pushed her against a wall, another wall. She's pushing women right and left. She said it was absolutely a sexual advance. She leaned into me, grabbed onto my ass, got up in my face and said in my ear, "You're sure you're straight?" I just pushed her away. I said, "Come on, knock it off." And then guys, another state rep said this. Now in this story, this state rep was apparently driving Lopez Chavez. Chavez told her to pull over, which she did, believing that they had arrived at her car. They were carpooling back to her car. Quote, "Next thing I know, she is leaned over, she is on top of me, holding my shoulders down." I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Kiss me." She said, "I'm not going to get off of you until you kiss me." I gave her a peck and she got off. She's just shoving right and left. I'm girl, Eric Swalwell, I don't know. Eric Swalwell could be your long lost lover. You could have some bipartisan romance, find some common ground over your love of harassing your coworkers while they are driving you in their car. Freaks. They are all freaks, right and left. It doesn't matter. Oh my God, it's just so unfortunate. But guys, we are not finished because that is just one story that has popped up on my timeline this week, because over in Michigan, across the country at their Democratic convention, a U.S. Senate candidate is trying to apparently live out her Broadway dreams. Just watch. musicians are not sexually assaulting people, then they're just assaulting our ears and eyes as they live out their 10th grade marching band fantasies, because that is literally what is happening right here. Like, Mallory, my friend, this is not the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. Let's wrap it up. Let's move on. This is unfortunate. It did not work for Kamala Harris. It is not going to work for you. Maybe I should do a little dance, Max. I mean, what is this? Like, is this their campaign strategy? Marching? I'm done. It's terrible. It is ineffective. But you know what, guys? Honestly, I would take her marching, I would take her singing over this music, this intro music, at the same Michigan Democratic Convention. Yes, this is a political event in the United States of America. Doesn't that make you feel great? Like, let's just all pack it up and move into a 7-Eleven, I guess. Instead of trying to invade America with your music and your open borders and your free migration, maybe we could focus on the real issues, like getting pride flags back in coffee shops. I mean, like, thank God Scott Wiener in California is fighting the good fight for his constituents.
Phil's just announced that the pride flags are going back into Phil's locations. This is a huge win for the community. It's amazing. And huge thanks to all of the Phil's baristas who advocated and who fought for our community.
This man represents California. It's such a win for the community. Like, this cannot be real life. Scott Wiener, what would actually be a good win for your community is you not wanting to protect LGBTQ predators from registering as sex offenders. Because yeah, we have not forgotten that you did that. We all remember. Just like I will now never forget that another congressional candidate, this one out of Los Angeles, is openly celebrating her multiple abortions. I mean, obviously, she and her husband had to do it because of the environment.
It's really crazy because I think back to that moment where my husband and I looked at each other, and we know that for us, we've only wanted 2 kids, mostly a boy and a girl. We got one of each. We were like, we're done. But we're big environmentalists. For us, philosophically, we don't want to overburden our footprint like on the world.
And so that is why, as a mother of 2 living children, she got her second abortion at the age of 41, because philosophically, she just needed to support the environment. Now, she then goes on to say later in this interview that she was not even fazed by the choice she and her husband had to make. It wasn't even a choice in the slightest. It was just a decision to get the second abortion because she and her husband already had a plan in place in case that were to happen. Okay, what about the plan in place to not have any more children? Listen, if you only want to have 2 children, that's totally fine. Go protect the environment, do the whole thing, whatever you want to do. But it seems like you didn't put a lot of thought into the plan of stopping a child from being conceived in the first place, and you focused more on killing that innocent child in the womb because of your irresponsibility. Just saying. And I mean, all of that happened because of the fear-mongering. And the fear-mongering, guys, it still runs so deep. Whether it is over the environmental crisis that we're facing or Trump rounding up everybody and putting them in concentration camps. Like, friends, please go call your boomer grandparents, check on them, because this is what they are out here saying.
Every day I wake up scared because a person I love is trans. And I'm waiting for the day that they start banging on doors and taking our trans and our gay friends and family to concentration camps. And they can't get, our trans friends and family can't get a passport to safely flee this country. And I know that there's nothing you can do about that. But if you could, what would it be?
I mean, can you imagine getting to the end of your life? Your glory days. You should be retired in Florida, playing mahjong, and instead you're laying up at night thinking about Donald Trump rounding up your trans friends and putting them in concentration camps, which I'm sorry, is not something that is happening. It's not even remotely on the table at all. Like, lady, for the love of your own mental well-being, for your happiness, for your just overarching joy in the rest of your life, turn off MSNBC. I promise it will help you. What will help you even more is if you use your Pure Talk phone and call up some friends and family, and maybe they'll make you feel better. Now, paying $70 or $80 or $90 a month to a big wireless company for unlimited data is truly insanity, especially when Pure Talk, my wireless company, is going to give you unlimited high-speed data for just $34.99 a month. Unlimited high-speed data at Pure Talk used to start at $55 a month, but because my friends over at Pure Talk are constantly pushing to give you more for less, you can now get unlimited high-speed data for just $34.99. So if you have looked into Pure Talk before and you have not made the move, check again. This is the time. But if you're wondering, is Pure Talk's network really as good as the overpriced normal big guys? Just try it out for 30 days and you will see. With no contract and no cancellation fees, you have nothing to lose. Make the switch in as little as 10 minutes, and if you ever need help, their U.S. customer service team is standing by. Go to puretalk.com/Cooper to claim claim unlimited high-speed data for just $34.99. Again, that is puretalk.com/Cooper to switch to my wireless company, America's wireless company, Pure Talk. Now, the other thing you should be switching out in your life is your snacks. So let's go back to something that is more simple and delicious with my friends over at Balance of Nature. Now, Balance of Nature takes whole fruits like strawberries and pineapples and freeze dries them with their tailored vacuum cold process into mouth-watering single ingredient snacks. No additives, no fillers, no label reading anxiety, just one single amazing ingredient. And that's Balance of Nature's guiltless snacks. They are clean, they're healthy, and they taste amazing. Plus, they are naturally vegan, gluten-free, they're sweet, and they are kosher. Just go to balanceofnature.com/Brett and you can build your own box of up to 16 different kinds of guiltless snacks. You can choose from mangoes, pineapples, which are my favorite, strawberries, and bananas, as well as checking out their amazing range of whole food supplements. So check them out and get mouth-watering nutrition at balanceofnature.com/Brett today. Again, that's balanceofnature.com/Brett today. Now back to this town hall with Pete Buttigieg. He received this question from this anguished voter, and he stood up there on that stage knowing damn well that none of that is happening, that Trump is not trying to round up his friends and people like him into concentration camps, but he instead chooses to affirm her fear, her delusions. He uses it as leverage in that moment to keep people like her dependent, emotionally dependent on politicians like him, allowing her to have these delusions that are probably ruining her life so that they will keep voting for people like him as their saviors. Per usual. I mean, it's what they do all the time. Now, all of this, everything that I have shown you, I mean, it is truly just like batshit crazy on so many different levels, in so many different categories. It is all very sensational, but it just further proves the point that we are not a stable country, and our politicians, yes, are freaks, but the left does seem to have a very direct plan and playbook. Like, yes, they might be unstable, but they do have a plan, and usually they are very good at acting upon it. Like, a few months ago, we talked about what was happening in Virginia, for example. Like, Abigail Spanberger, she ran for governor as this, common sense, moderate Democrat. She won all the voters over, and then she pulled the rug out from under them, and is now stripping away their freedoms right and left, has come out as completely insane, completely radical. Like, this week, they were able to get a new redistricting plan passed that would give the Democrats in Virginia 10 seats and leave the Republicans with only one, even though Kamala only won the state by 5 points, literally stripping all of those Republican voters from any kind of representation. And across the board, that is what the Democrats want to do. Like, if the voters are not fully on board with their outrageous agendas and ideologies, it doesn't matter, because their plan is to change the system to still give themselves more votes. Like, this is what top Democrat strategist James Carville just said on a podcast.
The Democrats win the presidency in both houses of Congress. I think on day one, they should make Puerto Rico, D.C. a state, and they should expand the Supreme Court to 13. Fuck it, eat our dust. They've done everything they could. They held up the 2000 election. They stole it. They've stolen Supreme Court seats. They've gerrymandered everything that you can. And the only way to fight this is don't run on it, don't talk about it, just do it. She said, okay, we got 54 senators and we got 13 court members. Thank you. Goodbye.
He said, F it, eat our dust. That is their campaign strategy. Like, I know the right is not great right now. I know a lot of conservatives are not happy, but I mean, this is unfortunately another situation where it's like, we do have to deal with the lesser of two evils. And I'm still picking my side. Like, these people are so crazy and they want to completely upend the system to give themselves more power. And I also think that that clip from James Carville is just so ironic, because I think most Republicans would say the same thing that he just said, but about the Democrats. You've stolen elections, you've gerrymandered in California this year, and now in Virginia. And all of this happens after they run as moderates, after they emotionally connect with all of these voters and say, we just want democracy, we just want to be friends and unified common sense. Meanwhile, ironically, Republicans these days, they talk a big game, they're leaning further right, and yet voters feel like they're not actually getting anything done. We talk a big game, but then we get into office and we just play by the rules and we get pummeled. And now these guys and their gay feather boas and their handsy lesbians are coming for us in the midterms. Like, that is what we're dealing with. But I mean, the good thing is they're still crazy. They're still crazy and they are terrible at hiding it. And that in and of itself will turn millions of people away. But that does not mean that we don't still have work to do. We cannot just run on somebody else being crazy. We have to show up with good candidates, good ideas, and actually be willing to act on those ideas. That is how you will win Republican voters, not just relying on their crazy, even though they certainly have that going for them.